All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the podcast. Before we get this going, I'm gonna crack open a beverage. And on that note, guys, if you guys haven't checked out First Form's Screamin' Freedom energy drinks, I feel like most of us hunters are fans of energy drinks. Me especially, I love them. I probably ought to get away from them, but if you haven't checked them out, check them out. During the holidays, they're actually doing a mystery flavor. I haven't tried it yet. I've got them on their way to my house as we speak, so I'm excited to try them. But I tried all the other ones. The Screamin' Freedom has become my favorite and my go-to for my energy drinks. But absolutely love it. If you guys haven't checked it out, click the link below. I'll have my First Form or the First Form link down below for just the website in general, but specifically the energy drinks. And they have lots of good stuff. I don't know if you guys have checked out the app. I know a few of you have. You guys have reached out to me lately and asked about the app, and I know a few of you have downloaded it and have started doing it. But if you haven't, make sure and let me know. I think that's probably the best ways. Let me know if you're interested in it. I can get you hooked up with it and get you started on the app. But it's such a great way of checking out, or keeping track of your nutrition, your workouts. It has a whole bunch of workouts in there and they kick your butt. You guys know Chad that is on the podcast quite a bit. He has the app and he's a CrossFitter and he did some of the workouts on the app and he's like, dude, they kicked my butt. So honestly, there's so many workouts, and it's cool because they have some, like if you're a runner, they have running workouts. If you're more of a weightlifter, they have weightlifting workouts. They have body weight movements. They have flexibility and yoga. So much that you can do. In fact, he was saying that there's a lot of like stuff that's very similar to the CrossFit that he's been doing. But man, it's a really cool app. You can get the premium subscription, which has a coach that really, it's a personal trainer, honestly, that's with you every step of the way. You submit your stats to him. They basically tell you like what you need to be doing, and it's really a cool platform. So it's not just an app to track your macros, which is a good thing to do. I mean, it's a good thing to track your macros, but it does so much more than that. So again, if you guys want to look into that, reach out to me, let me know. Again, there's links down below. You can go and check that out. And if you want to just download the app, you can go down there and download the app and try it yourself. If you have questions, reach out. But First Form has some awesome stuff. As you guys well know, I'm new to the First Form and what they're doing. But guys, honestly, like I've been losing so much weight lately. Been doing the carnivore diet as I talked about in one of my last podcasts. But I've just basically my consumption, my intake has been a lot of First Form products. And I give them a lot of credit for the weight I've lost. I'm down 15 pounds now in about a month and a half. So it's super beneficial. Feel better running, just feel better in general. I wish I would have done it. Well, they say the best day to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best day is today. And so I wish I would have done it a long time ago. Glad I'm doing it now. But I just encourage you guys looking at if this is something that you want to do. And honestly, right now is the best time to be doing it, because we're kind of in the quote unquote off season, except we got a hunt coming up, which I'm pretty excited about. But it's a good time to make sure you're stuck into your fitness and your nutrition, and make sure you're not losing all the gains that you had during the hunting season. So during the podcast today, I'm going to drink my energy drink, keep me going. It's going to be a fun podcast. I got the guys with 360 Sportsman on with me. If you haven't heard of them, stay tuned. This is a really cool program that they have put together for like making sure that you know how to get from point A to point Z when it comes to not just hunting, but anything outdoors, including like riding motorcycles and stuff like that. So it's really a really cool program, and really for the cost, it's worth it. We'll talk more about it during the podcast, and I want them to share with it because they can speak to it better than I can. But I wanted to jump on, do a quick intro. I'm excited to get them on, so I'm gonna cut this intro off, and we're gonna go ahead and get started with the podcast. Thanks, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. Super stoked for this podcast. This is actually a new company that I just found recently, and when I found them, I'll give credit to Levi Carey, the Western Outdoors podcast. I was listening to his podcast and heard about them, and I was like, man, like this is a lot of like what we're about, and you guys have been on the eHunter page and website, and you've seen a lot of articles about, directed towards new hunters, and we got nothing on these guys. And so super excited to have Taylor on with me today with 360 Sportsman. Taylor, how are you, buddy?
Good. Thank you, Taryn. Excited to be on the show today, and I appreciate you reaching out. This is exciting.
Yeah, dude, I've been super stoked about this. When you responded back to me on Instagram, I was like, sweet, here we go. Like this is gonna be a fun podcast. And by the way, this is gonna be on video, so you guys are gonna see Taylor. He's actually visiting family in Texas. So he's
Got my
got
physical setup.
got the borrowed headset and everything. So it's all good, man.
That's right. My 15-year-old brother-in-law's gamer headset here and in his bedroom, but we are rocking it. So
Dude, it sounds like I told you before we hit record, dude, it sounds good. So I'm just glad you're here to be able to talk about this. And honestly, like I'm serious, man. Like we have so many listeners to the podcast and visitors to our website that are new hunters, and it's across the nation, like in fact, I just had a guy reach out to me recently. Oh man, I'm gonna mess it up. He lived in one of the Midwest states. I'm gonna say not, yeah, maybe it was Oklahoma or Kansas. I can't remember. But anyways, he's new to hunting, and he's like, man, I don't, like, where do I get started? And he found one of our articles that talked about hunting in his state and went through all the articles, but just trying to get started in hunting. And so I think guys like that are really going to appreciate this podcast. So I think there's a lot of listeners, and honestly, I think this really applies to everybody. But before we get into 360 Sportsman, let's talk about you, Taylor. Give us a little background, man. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you live, background in outdoors, all that fun stuff.
absolutely. So I grew up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's the little skinny
Oh,
neck there of Idaho up near Canada.
best golf course in the
And
world, man.
yeah, it's beautiful. It's God's country for sure. And did all the outdoor sports, fishing, hunting, camping. Was more inclined to do some over others just because that's what we would do as a family. And I loved it. I grew up in it. It became everything to me. It became our family experiences. It became kind of like I feel like some of my grandpa's legacies, uh, those that, moved on and whatnot, they did that with us growing up. And so those are some of the best experiences I have with family. But yeah, we did lots of outdoor stuff growing up. I specifically liked to deer hunt and then eventually started getting into bear hunting and elk hunting. I got my first cougar when I was 15, and
Nice.
we just started having a lot of fun doing these different outdoor sports and tried reloading. I have some fun stories I'd like to share on that. But basically tried to do everything that I could to be the best sportsman that I could. And the thing is it was difficult to get the right training or the right information from the right people. Your dad only knows so much, your grandpa only knows so much, your neighbor or your best friend. And at that point, where do you go?
Yep.
Google,
Yep.
YouTube.
YouTube. Yep. Go to YouTube.
You watch the YouTubers, you try to get a good idea of, all right, what am I even looking for? I don't know what I don't know. So am I
Hmm.
looking for the right thing? And then once I do find what I think is the right thing, I'm watching it, but first I have to watch through hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's some dude in a tank top and he has no qualifications.
Trying to sell you
You're
first
like,
form, first form products or something like that.
he's got all of his advertisers and
Yep.
all that cool stuff. And then he gets into it and the video sucks. The quality
Yeah.
sucks. It's hard to follow along. It just ends up wasting your time. Um, And what happened, one of the experiences there with reloading, my friend was teaching me all about it. I started to get my own RCBS equipment, got my kit. Where am I going to set this thing up? The
Hmm.
chicken coop, of course. So, I set
Nice.
up a workbench in the chicken coop and it's like half nailed to the wall. So every time I push the press down, the lever there, it's just wobbling like crazy. I'm like, all right, it's time to open up the book and fill it with powder. I'm double loading it,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I'm like, this just doesn't seem right. I don't
That's
think I'm doing this
dangerous.
right. And
Oof.
I'm still alive, so so I stopped, doing the reloading for a bit there. I had to go on YouTube and learn a few things because
Yeah.
it's just you can only do so much on your own until you need to ask for help. Um, I start getting into a bunch of filmmaking. I do lots of media production for work currently, and had a good time doing that throughout high school and college and stuff. At some point, I was taking some different master classes to learn how to improve my media skills, my filmmaking skills. And one of the mentors said, one of the best things that you can do to give back to this world is creating a course. It helps you build a legacy. It helps the people learn new skills. It
Mhm.
helps people develop all sorts of things, that
Right.
opportunities for them. And I just sat and thought a long time, like, what kind of course would I even do? Like, I don't feel like I'm a pro at anything. If I was gonna do something in the outdoors, I can't even reload without double loading, and like, just I don't feel like I'm qualified in anything. But one of the things that he said was, if you aren't qualified yourself, or if you don't feel confident in it, you can either learn it, become a master at it yourself, or find people who are.
Yep.
And I thought, well, the fact is the time it takes to become a master in all the different outdoor skills, it'd be
Yeah,
impossible.
you can't do it.
I mean, there wouldn't be enough time in my life to be able to do it. And then by the time I get there, it's already all been done, or I'm dead, and now we can't do the whole course. So
Right.
we got to find people who can, and who are professionals, who do this for a living, or
Hmm.
it's their specialty. Get them on and partner with those individuals. And so that idea sat with me for a couple of years, and just stewing in my mind, I'm like, man, this would just be so awesome to have, because I'm so sick of searching for what I need on YouTube. And I'm trying to hunt like in Utah, and I can't figure out like what I even need to do there,
Right.
in some of those hunting scenarios. So, anyways, just kind of boiled up to like enough pains that I'm
Hmm.
like, no one else is going to do this. I need to just grow up and just do it myself. And really started to make some connections with some great people, and went to the hunting expo last year.
Oh yeah.
Um, and that's where I was like, all right, this is the moment where I'm going to change things. I'm going
Hmm.
to go around to every booth, and I'm going to grab everyone's business cards, and we're going to start there. So
Nice.
I didn't
Nice.
hardly talk to like as many people as I should have, but I just started grabbing these business cards and was like, this is the way I'm going to start making connections. And I found some people from that have become instructors,
Hmm.
wonderful individuals. And we started producing those first couple courses, and the momentum's just building, 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 and it's like pushing me down the hill
Hmm.
that I can't stop, because it's so exciting every
Yeah.
day, you know.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about me.
Man.
Born, raised in Idaho, growing up doing outdoor stuff, got into filmmaking, and now it's all about 360 Sportsman.
Dude, you're right though. Like, I mean, we've all done it. We've all, if I don't know something, I go to YouTube. I go try to find something,
Yeah.
and like, and you're right. We can't be masters of everything. You can't be the perfect like reloader and know, ammunition and rifles and things like that, and also be completely an expert on archery equipment. I mean, I guess you probably could, but it takes so much time to invest. Like I'm really invested in archery right now. Don't get me wrong, I've got my reloading stuff over here, and I can reload my 28 Nosler bullets. But that's just because I've done it so many times. I'm not like building new loads or trying to perfect accuracy. I'm not changing the length, overall length. I'm not doing those things. I'm just building the load that I've always built, so I can go kill something with my 28 Nosler. But archery, I've gotten into fletching my own arrows, building my own arrows, adjusting my own bow, changing things around, adjusting my sight, adjusting my anchor point, just doing a whole bunch of different things so that I can master that. And by doing that, I've kind of lost the rifle side of it. So I get what you're saying, that, you got to find those people that this is what they do. And all, like for example, like Cam Hanes. Cam Hanes only shoots archery. He probably doesn't know hardly anything about guns. I think he's actually sponsored by a gun company, which is kind of funny. But anyways, he, like he's 100% archery. But then there's those guys out there that are 100% rifle, long range shooters, or whatever the case may be. So I get what you're saying, that you kind of have to lean on those people to learn the things that you want to learn. And I don't know, YouTube's great. I lean on YouTube a lot. I put a lot of stuff on YouTube, teaching people how to do different things. But you kind of got to be careful with YouTube and the content that you're getting. You know what I mean? Like it can be pretty
Yeah.
crappy stuff.
Yeah, because what if they're telling you like, oh, you need to do this with your load, and then
Yeah.
that's what causes you to double load, and then you're in the field and you have no clue like
Mm-hmm.
of anything that you're supposed to be doing there, and you could be shooting at your buck and you're so excited, and then the gun blows up and you're like, oh crap.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Well,
you
and
don't want to learn skills from people who aren't professional in those skills. I think that's the first thing is that we have instructors that are humble enough to say that they specialize in certain things,
mm-hmm.
but then if you gave them an oar and a kayak, you told them to
Yeah.
like go down the whitewater rafting and then teach us how to like roll it, and they're gonna drown. It's and then vice versa. Like have a kayaker teach us about how to go do world class elk calling. Like it's
Right.
just not gonna translate.
But that's what's cool though, and that's what makes outdoors fun. Is there's so many different categories. You know, there's so many different
Mhm.
things that you can do, and I loved it. Like doing this podcast, I'll talk to people that are big time hunters. Then I've also had people on this podcast that are not hunters at all. They're ranchers. And we're talking about different legislation that's being put in place. They think very differently than I do, but we do have a common goal of land management and stuff like that. So it really is fun to see a community come together, and I know that you guys have a community. We'll break that down as well, but I kind of want to go back to like, this is a new company, just started it just recently. Where did the name 360 Sportsman come from? How did you come up with this company?
I was, like I said, I was trying to think of different master classes that I could do, and it was just one of those moments when like the idea of an outdoor master class just struck like lightning,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt like just a prick from God that was like, "This is it.
Yeah.
Like this is your gift." And I was like, "Thank you so much. Like this is so exciting. This is the master class." And I've done lots of outdoor videos and like would do GoPro stuff with my brothers and all
Mm-hmm.
that. And so I was like, "Okay, maybe I could try and take this outdoor master class for a spin just around the block and see what happens." And so I was sitting there coming up with different names like outdoor this and sportsman that, and just 360 encapsulates everything. It's going to be all around. Okay. And then sportsman, I will say that we have so many sports women that I wish like sportsmen kind of fit
Yeah.
better with that.
Yeah.
Uh, but if we can, we have Sportsman's Warehouse, which we everyone goes to shop at. So I thought,
Right.
okay, if Sportsman's Warehouse is fine and it has a good customer base, I assume that we could get away with that too.
It, it
And
it covers it. I get the PC thing is a sports person or something like that,
yeah,
but man is man, and that's female and male. So sportsman works, man. You're all right.
I was trying to be careful. I try to respect all people.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, we combined that 360 Sportsman and started a YouTube channel and just started putting out a few videos to just kind of like see what the interest was in just a YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
and if people would view. And one of the fishing videos that I did, I actually first went on a Facebook group and I was messaging people, hey, if anyone wants to go out fishing, I'm willing to film you for free. So I
Nice.
just want you to do some tutorials and let's go. And a gentleman named Jordan Hall, who's been a pro fisher in the Wasatch, Utah County area.
Oh
There it
yeah.
is.
Uh-huh.
He was like, "Yeah, let's go fish." And so we go up to
Really?
Strawberry Reservoir,
Oh
and we
nice.
start uh, doing a couple fishing videos on Strawberry Reservoir, fishing Strawberry Reservoir itself, how to catch fish with power bait in a few minutes. And those videos did really well. The power bait one had like 150,000 views with just in a
Wow.
few years, and the views just kept accumulating. I'm like, that's the first time I've ever had 150,000 views doing
And
an outdoor video, so I got excited,
man.
and, that was for me, like, "Okay, maybe this will work. We could start making these courses and moving forward." Um, so yeah, it kinda started with that prototype of YouTube, and then I set YouTube aside and just started focusing strictly on creating this master class, and then now we're starting to get the YouTube channel back up and going.
Nice. So let's break down 360 Sportsman a little bit. So for those people that have never seen it, and again, you're pretty new, so there's probably quite a few people that are still, it's a new concept to them, and what this looks like. So talk to us a little bit about like, so they go to a website and find it, And then within that website, they can purchase a masterclass. Is it something they download? Is it something web-based that they're able to access? And then do they, at that point, pick which area they have access to? Or does a membership give them access to all categories? Kind of break down a little bit of what that looks like if you're trying to become a member of 360 Sportsman, how to go about that.
Yeah, great question. So if you want to learn an outdoor skill, you can go on to 360sportsman.org, and then you can see the current courses that are available. And you could sign up for an individual course. So if you just want to learn snowmobile riding and you don't, care for anything else, you could go straight to snowmobile riding, start learning that, take the full course, and then if you like it, then you could go on to get other courses and purchase those individually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or if you're like, I see value in all these different courses and I'm going to want to learn different things over time, you can just save yourself the money from buying individual courses and get the all access pass, which is called 360 Premium.
Mm-hmm.
And 360 Premium will give you access to all current courses as well as all future courses. So whenever we release a new course, boom, loaded right up into your dashboard, and now you can watch that. So that's the course side, like the two different options, individual or 360 Premium. Once you've purchased your course or the premium, then you'll get your login credentials. It'll have you sign up and make your account, and it'll give you access to our online community. You'll also be able to download an app called Go Collab with the K. Find it in the App Store. And that you can use your login credentials and access 360 Sportsman on your phone so that it's just easier to like get to your courses and the communities without having to go onto 360sportsman.org and log in every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just your app. So what you can do is you can be taking your courses, and then if you have a question and you want to ask the instructor or the community, you can just toggle over to communities, and now you're asking questions to the instructor or to the whole community in specific channels. So you can go straight to like a hunting channel,
Uh-huh.
fishing, snow sports, whatever it is, go straight to that channel because it might be that topic related. And then you could have that conversation within that community, and or direct message. You have a messaging chat features, so you can just one-on-one with people or do like a group chat. But that's your courses, your communities, and as a part of it, every course, whenever you purchase a course, it comes with discounts. So if I purchase the snowmobile riding course, then I'll get access to 360 Sportsman's full catalog of all discounts, hunting, fishing, snowmobile, like everything, even though I just purchased snowmobile riding.
Mm.
Um, or, another course, I could still get access to that discounts hub. Um, you go in there and you have access to all of our different brand partners, those who are recommended and those who have discount codes. Most of the discount codes are about 10 to 20% off. So you start adding these things up where you have so many different brands in the hub and all these savings on these lifetime codes. What it should be is that you're saving more money by
Yeah.
getting 360 Sportsman because of all the discounts than what you are spending on the course.
That's one of the biggest things. Like people, I guess maybe not one of the biggest things, but one of the scariest things. It's a question I get all the time. Okay, I want to become a hunter. I want to get into the outdoors. What do I need to buy? Like that's one of the biggest questions that we get first off and foremost. And so you're right. I think if they can go on there and like, here's some gear, here's where you can go to get the gear at a discounted price. You save the money on that gear. I mean, that pays for 360 Sportsman in and of itself. And I love that if they purchase any program, they get access to that, to those discounts, which is really cool. Hey, what was the name of the app? Did you say? Can you say that again?
Go Collab. So it's GOKOLLAB.
Okay.
Yeah,
Geo,
just
cool.
collab with a K. And you
And
can find that on the Google Play and the Apple Store and download that for free. If you download it without purchasing a course, like you're not going to be able to get into the courses. But if you use your 360 Sportsman login credentials, you'll be able to log in.
okay. Awesome. And I'll put all this stuff in the show notes for you guys that are listening. That way you guys can just go to the show notes, be able to click on, the website for 360 Sportsman, but then I'll put all the details of this down in the show notes. So it's, you guys aren't having to take notes like I am over here. And, you can go back to this stuff and just get access to it really easily. So Taylor, as far as like you talked about the premium
Hmm.
package versus each different course, like if someone was going to purchase that, like what's the cost for each of those? Like if you're just going to purchase one course versus the premium courses or course.
Yeah. Each course is anywhere from 40 to 80 bucks.
Oh,
It just
that's
depends on the size of the course. So a little cheat, you could look at the price and that'll give you an idea of like how much how much bigger that course might be,
mm-hmm.
like how much longer that course might be. So all the courses are priced based off of minutes, like the time, and we always add new lessons. So like as lessons are added and courses are updated,
Mm-hmm.
those those course prices will go up. The 360 Premium is 549. That's your full access there, and occasionally we'll run different promotions and things like that, which are always good to get in on, and you can grandfather yourself in at that low price. There's no subscriptions. I don't believe in subscriptions. We don't believe in that. It's just no one wants these extra charges hitting their
Right.
account year after year, and they're
Yeah.
like, "What the heck is
Those
that?"
surprise ones that just hit randomly. You're like, I forgot all
Yeah.
about that. It just
Yeah, if
pisses
you
you off.
purchase a course, you're a lifetime member of 360 Sportsman. You deserve to have access to all these tools.
Hmm.
We won't take that away from you. So
So maybe talk us through a little bit of the hunting. So say somebody purchased the hunting course, gonna have videos to watch. Is there like hands-on walkthrough stuff? Like, hey, here's how to set this up, or here's what you need. Maybe just kind of talk to us. Most of my listeners are hunters, and so that's probably going to be
sure,
the focus of them if they're purchasing this. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, sorry to get a little sidetracked here, for 549 and maybe with some discounts and whatnot, really you're only buying a few courses and you're hitting that premium price, so you might as well just buy the premium one. That's just my thoughts on it. But anyways, so if they're purchasing just the hunting one, maybe talk to us a little bit about what that specific course looks like.
yeah. And there's a bunch of the hunting ones that are available now and coming available.
Mm-hmm.
So it might like right now, one of them is bow hunting, train to
Yeah.
hunt. So if you're big into archery, like you want to improve your shot placement, your geometry, your form, and all that stuff, and how to shoot in these different scenarios. Like that one would be that would be a great one. Or e-scouting, where you're trying to figure out like the big question of where do I go,
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
where can I go,
Yep.
and are those not the two most like popular questions?
All the time. I get them all the time, man.
And everyone's in the Facebook group like, I don't mean to be that guy,
Yeah.
but can you tell me where to at least just point me some that
Yeah.
east, north? Yeah. So, um, what was your question again? I'm
So
sorry.
just like if they buy that, is like what are those video, like it's
Oh,
videos that they go through? Just kind of talk through like how do the videos look? I've been on the website. I've been playing on it all day long today, just like looking at different things that y'all have.
yeah.
So I've seen like the archery 101 and then a few different ones. But like say they purchase one of those, like what can they expect? Is it a person like here, like you on the screen talking to them, or is it, hey, hands on? Are we out in the field shooting bows at a TAC event or a Mountain Archery Fest event, or what does that look like?
Yeah, so the videos are filmed in a way that the instructor is in the field doing their craft. So it's not like me sitting at a desk or one of them just like talking to a teleprompter. No, this is the instructor is encouraging you to be hands-on and kind of following along with them as they're doing these different practices so that you can visually see it. We got lots of different pop-up like infographics and graphics that just pop up to kind of point out specific things or like extra little tips that will come on screen, so that it's like, okay, cool, I'm really getting the whole grasp of this lesson. So how it's set up is from A to Z. If you want to learn a topic, then we're going to start at ground zero as if you know nothing, and
Mm-hmm.
then we're going to build you up. So you're going to go in kind of a process or an order of each individual step that it takes to understand,
That's
building
huge.
upon the last step. So if you want to, you can skip around, but it's not recommended because of the nature of the way it's structured,
Mm-hmm.
is it's going to progress you along. And then what we'll do is we'll always be adding new courses to continue building on that. So if we have some like more 101 style courses, then we're going to cover the 101 and get you where you need to go. And then as we're updating and we bring in new instructors and new courses, now we're going to the 200 level. Now we're going to help those intermediates kind of improve upon those skills and start getting more tactful and
Mm-hmm.
strategic with what they're doing in the field. Now you have people who want to become advanced and pro, and we're going to be building on those courses right now. So we have a mix of 101 style and 200 level courses
Mm-hmm.
that are available and coming available throughout 2025. And yeah, you're going to get this in-field kind of experience as you're watching and you're engaging with the instructor. And then if you are a hunter, more specifically, we do have the First Hunt Foundation that we've partnered with. So if you want to go get your in-field experience, you just sat on the couch or laid in bed or the toilet or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
watching your master class for hours and getting a good grasp on things. All right, that confidence is there. It's time to get out in the field and go do it yourself. You can find a mentor local to you and go out in the field with a mentor. They'll show you the ropes. They've had a background check, so
Mm-hmm.
this isn't some random dude on Facebook. And you'll have a background check too, so that they're not they don't
Don't
have
worry
to
about
be
you
concerned
shanking
about
them
a
in the
knife in
night.
their back
Yeah.
either. Everyone's got background checks. So, that's kind of separate from 360 Sportsman, but we're
Mm-hmm.
partnered with them, so we make sure that that all gets done. But yeah, you get to
Dang.
watch it and get comfortable over video, then get out in the field, have someone walk you through it, and you're not tripping over your shoelaces.
Yeah.
They're like, "All right, you kind of know what you're doing.
I
Oh, I
love
took this
that.
360 Sportsman class. I know what I'm doing."
Yeah. Well, dude, it's so crazy because I've taken hunters that like I remember one specific guy that I took. I don't know if he listens to my podcast or not, but had never hunted before in his life, and you know it was on me because I should have like dumbed it down. Not that sounds so bad. I don't mean it that way, but I should have taken it back to more of a basic beginner level. Dude, I hiked him all over the mountain. I set him up in hard places, and I realized, man, I probably should have stuck to something just a little bit more basic. You should have went and hunted the alfalfa fields outside of town, and just got him used to the of like pulling up, setting up on a deer, shooting like I could have done it a whole lot better. And so, I took him, I started him at, point I don't know, point S or T of the process rather than starting at point A. And by the sounds of it, it sounds like 360 Sports was more of you start at point A and kind of go up from there. And it builds off of the knowledge that you know so that you're not being overwhelmed. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and different courses like bow hunting trade to hunt, that
Mm-hmm.
one's not gonna teach you archery 101. That
Right.
one's gonna teach you bow hunting and how to hunt with a bow. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's a level of you've already had experience with archery and you have an idea of what that looks like, in your backyard. But have you ever shot a target up on a hill
Right.
or downhill or like on a weird like
Yeah.
obstacle or position? So yeah, that's exactly right. Is like we have so many people who are they might even be kind of like already at like beginner level F
Yeah.
or D,
Right.
and they just need some of those skills to get them pushed along, or they've never started before. And we all have friends who want to go out hunting with us, and they
Mm-hmm.
want to experience that with us, and they have so many questions, and they're all really good questions, but we don't always have the time to do it justice and give them the right experience.
Right.
And so in that situation, it's like, why don't you learn and take initiative of your hunting, be independent here and go learn what you need to learn over here. And then
Mm-hmm.
once you've completed it, once you're done, let's go out in the field because I know that we will have more success together
Yeah.
because you're better prepared for it.
Yeah. No, I think that's a fantastic way to do it. And it's intimidating for a lot of people to get into hunting. Like you're saying, a lot of us have buddies that want to get into hunting, but yet they don't just because of the intimidation factor. And I mean, I get it. I've never wakeboarded before. I know that's a weird thing to say in Utah because everybody wakeboards in Utah, but never done it before. And honestly, it scares the crap out of me to go do it just because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to expect. I'm going to drown in the lake, kind of a thing. A lot of people feel that way with hunting. Like, and wakeboarding may not even be as hard as like hunting. There's a lot to it, and maybe not even just hunting. Going back to 360 Sportsman, like whether it's kayaking, like there's a lot to do with kayaking that, it's not just sitting in a boat and paddling, especially if you're going to go down rapids or something like that, or dirt bike riding or whatever. Archery's one that's very like, there's a lot to it, and it's very intimidating for people to get into. So if you can build upon kind of where they're at, meet them where they're at, and go from there, I think there'll be a lot more success of getting people into it, and not only getting people into it, but getting them into it successfully. That's kind of my thoughts there.
And you have people who like already deer hunt. Like my dad
Yeah.
for decades was only deer hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so funny because like you'd get so focused in on all his little game cams and like hitting all the spots and stuff,
Yeah.
and that was awesome. But then like I started to get into bear hunting
Mm-hmm.
and I got my first bear and he's like, "Wait, that was cool." So then he starts getting into bear hunting and then elk hunting and he
Yeah.
starts like really expanding himself. We have so many hunters and sportsmen who start on one thing and then they're like, "Oh, that's a cool species," or like, "I want to
Yeah.
hunt longer throughout the year and deer is only like a week, but if I pick up more of these different species, then I could be
Mm-hmm.
hunting all year round." They
Right.
just don't know where to start on these different things. And so you can think of it like if you know different skills, then you can enjoy those skills all year round
Mm-hmm.
and be in the outdoors more.
Dude, that's a good point. And you brought up something like learning how to reload from your dad, or you can only learn so much from your dad. My dad is an amazing outdoorsman. I mean, he knows outdoors very well, but like it was deer hunting and elk hunting. That's really all well, and coyote calling and stuff like that, but we never did bear, never did mountain lion, never did some of these other hunts that, man, I want to do. I'd love to be able to hunt those species. And it wasn't until, my adult life, later in life, when I start doing those things, and I'm like, well, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done this before, and so I can't turn
Mhm.
to dad because he's never done it either. I'm sure he would love to do it, but but it just,
Yeah.
I have to turn to somebody else or something else. And so, man, I can't tell you how many YouTube videos I've watched on bear hunting. YouTube videos I've watched on how to get to, like, I went to New Zealand this year and went and hunted red stag. Like, how do you do that? Like, what's that process look like? And so, I think being able to have people to talk to kind of walk you through that is huge. And I'd love to know a little bit more about your instructors. Like who gets to be instructing this? Because, well, you kind of talked about earlier that, I'm not really a professional at something. So how do I become a professional at something? How does somebody become an instructor, and what do these instructors look like? Maybe talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have amazing instructors. We have Jordan Hall, who teaches a lot of the fishing right now. And then we have Red Pouch Outdoors, that's Ethan Pateman
Yeah.
and Jed Luther. So Ethan does the e-scouting and he does the bow hunting. He's excellent with archery, knows everything about the arrow and the bow, and could talk your ear off all day about it. So that's fun. And then Jed is a great reloader. Will walk you through all of the steps you need so that you're not doing it in your chicken coop and you're not double loading. And then you have um, I have so many that I'm trying to
How
remember.
many instructors do you
Levi
have?
Green. What was that?
How many instructors do you have right now?
We have we have about eight, seven,
Wow.
eight. Not all of their courses is
Oh.
released, so
Oh,
that's
okay.
that. But Levi Green, we just released his snowmobile riding course. He's a pro rider out of southern Idaho
Okay.
and does a phenomenal job there. And then his girlfriend, Maddie, she is doing woman snowmobiling. Lindsay Persico, I hope I said her name right, from Alone. So she was on Alone the Beast and ended up winning that episode. She's doing a wilderness survival course and some other courses that we're really excited for.
Dude, she is a
And
beast too. I watched that
okay,
series. She's a
well,
she's a
that
stud,
was a
man.
crazy episode.
It was. It really was.
We were talking about that. I was just
Yeah.
like, man, dude, that was an interesting experience. She's like, yeah, it was cool. Kind of starting with a team and then being completely alone and
Yeah.
kind of seeing the difference of that style. So
But the cool thing about that though is like you were talking about, like people that have expertise in this, like who else is going to have better expertise about wilderness survival than her? You know what I mean? Like I can't think of
I
anybody.
don't know. Yeah, I mean that was a primitive survival situation, so
Oh,
no tools or nothing, right? So
yeah.
uh, we are contracting, we're onboarding instructors who are professionals who have decades in the industry, or in specific skill sets, um, who who the community recognizes as professionals. There's a lot of individuals who know different things and different skill sets, but might not be as connected with the community. And I find that those who are connected with the community and insert themselves and really make an effort end up teaching a lot of camps, courses, retreats because people want to learn from them. And so these instructors put on these different types of courses
Mm-hmm.
in an in-person kind of setting, and they're bringing crowds out. They're bringing
Yep.
dozens of people on a yearly basis to come learn from them. That's a pretty good sign.
Yeah.
If you have an instructor who people are attracted to, wanting to learn more from and take a course in person, and sometimes pay hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars for these courses, um, not all people can travel out and do that on that
Right.
schedule and come out to take that person's course, but they would if it was on demand and virtual. And
Right.
so those are the kind of things we look for. People who have a lot of background in the industry, are recognized by the industry as professionals, and people are coming to them,
Mm-hmm.
asking them questions, and trying to learn more from them.
Well, it gives them street cred. Like when you look at some go, and I don't mean to keep bashing on YouTube because there's great people on YouTube that really do a good job. So I don't want to, keep bashing on them, but you click on a video and this is a person that you've never seen or never heard from before. They're just some random person, and you've got to trust them. Whereas you can have people like her or any, some of these other folks on there that like you know some of these names well, and even if you don't know their name, it's a pretty quick search to be like, okay, well, who is this guy? Like Ethan, like what does he know? I searched him up just because he was on Levi's show, so I was just trying to get an understanding of who he is, and I was like, okay, yeah, this guy knows his stuff. Like he's been in it, he knows archery, yeah, and you can tell also pretty quickly. Well, at least I guess maybe we can because we're in the business or been in hunting for a long time. But as soon as somebody talks, you're like, okay, yeah, he knows what he's talking about, or she knows what she's talking about. Some guys just shoot the smoke up your skirt or whatever, but those guys you can really look into and see that they know what they're talking about, which I think is really cool. I didn't realize you had 8 of them already on. I thought maybe you just have 3 or 4. So, dude, you're building quick. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's about a new instructor every other week or so, and
Wow.
it's
Wow.
it's growing quickly, and we're open arms. We want to talk to instructors and people who are qualified and believe that they can teach well to the camera and or
Mm-hmm.
to a virtual audience, and are willing to do that and are humble enough and have that time. It doesn't take long to produce a course. We are able to produce a course in about 2 to 3 weeks.
Nice. Nice.
So I mean, we have it in plans to do 1 to 3 courses every month,
Mm-hmm.
and by November next year, having 20 to 30 courses that you could take across the whole outdoor spectrum. So
Wow.
this is we want these courses to become available as quickly as possible for people, and over time we can of course refine them and add more lessons, and people will be taking a course and they're going to have a great question. We can add that as a lesson. Like the more that question kind of is upvoted and we see that, like let's just
Mm-hmm.
record that.
That's awesome. Well, and I'll give a little bit of a way. If you are looking at becoming an instructor or want to become an instructor, there's actually a link right on their homepage that says, "Do you know how to become an instructor?" And I believe it goes to your email, right, Taylor? That they email
Yeah.
and just talk to you. Are you the kind of I mean, you're the one that picks all the instructors.
Yeah, we have a good conversation and break down, some of that experience, and I want to be able to do some investigation there.
Nice.
So any information is always great. Like if,
Yeah.
if you're teaching current courses and you're involved, kind of think of that as your outdoor resume
Yeah.
and put that forward because we're definitely interested in finding people across the spectrum. Go on the website and you'll see sort of the different categories, and come, and if there's a course that isn't on there, that you think could add value to the industry, pitch it.
Yeah.
So we're not limited to what's just on the website.
Is there a predator calling one by chance?
There will be because you just pitched it.
We should talk. I just think that's a question that I get all the time is predator calling and what it takes to do that. And actually, I know it pretty well, but there's some people that really know. In fact, I've got a podcast coming out with Calling the Country, the guys over there, and it's like they know predator hunting, and that's a really cool one. So something to look into. That's the thing is there's so many areas of hunting and just the outdoors in general that people need help with. So the system that you set up, man, it's a great system. I can't believe no one's done it up to this point, to have basically a school on how to do this. I think we've relied on not really misinformation, but lack of information or not completely accurate information that's out there on the internet. And not, again, there is good information, but it could be better. And one of my favorite sayings in life is everything can and should be done better. And that's exactly what you're doing is you're making this better. The avenue for learning how to do this is getting better. And through 360 Sportsman, I think that we're going to get there. So I love it, man. I think this is a really cool program. Is there anything else about 360 Sportsman that you wanted to talk about that we haven't touched on?
Yeah, a few things there. So with brands, there's a lot of outdoor companies and business owners that I imagine are listening in right now. Really great opportunities for businesses as well. So within that discounts hub that I was talking about, businesses can get listed there for no cost. So
Oh,
yeah, for free. You just get in touch with me again, the email Taylor at 360sportsman.org or wherever you want to reach out. But what we'll do is we'll send you over a business form. And if you have a business within the outdoor industry, we need a logo, we need a website, we need a discount code, and you can get listed within that brand hub. The reason why we don't charge for that right now is because there are so many people who want to investigate different products. Why
right,
would we be the gatekeeper of that
right,
and like determine what products people should go check out? Plus, it's just good for like those who are business owners and those investigating. It's good for our members. We want to be able to give as much value to them as possible. So if that's something that you're interested in as a business owner, you can definitely get listed. That includes podcasts as well.
I was
So,
gonna
and
say,
other types
hey,
of
I
shows.
know a good podcast that should be
That's
on there.
because different sports people are looking for things to listen to and how to stay connected as well. Like,
Yeah,
and 360 Sportsman isn't going to deliver news like eHunter,
right,
like
right.
or other avenues. So there's that with the business side of things. And then yeah, follow us on Instagram and on the other social media. Um, you can get notified when we release new courses. That's important because we're
Hmm.
always going to be releasing new courses. I would love to see 2-3 years from now as you go on and you can find any species that you want to learn how to hunt in this case, or a variety of your like all of your different outdoor sports covered.
Yeah,
Snow skiing, snowboarding, kayaking, all the water sports, and be able to pick up anything that you want to do.
man, that's awesome. And going back to the companies, I feel like I- I'm gonna reach out to the ones that we're partnered with. We got some great partners that are part of a part of eHunter, that I think could benefit your members as well. So, and I know they'd be willing to give a discount to them as part of that. So I'll reach out to them and see if we can't get them connected with you and get that set up because I
Yes,
think that
sir.
would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great. Be happy to connect with them.
Sweet. Well, Taylor, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. But man, I really appreciate. Well, honestly, I appreciate what you're doing for outdoorsmen and sportsmen in general. Honestly, like I said, I've been on the website a good chunk of the day today, just in between my real job and just looking at things that I personally, I'm like, man, this I could benefit from that to help me. Maybe not specifically just in hunting, but just in outdoors in general. There's so many things that I want to learn, and I think everybody should be a lifelong learner. And so, again, going back to like the premium access to 360 Sportsman, I think that's a great thing to have because then you're constantly learning, you're constantly growing, learning a new skill. I think you should always be learning a new skill. So, what a cool way to do it! What a cool opportunity to do it, and man, to learn it from the best of the best. I think it's a great way to do it. So before we jump off, remind everybody what the website is, the app, and then any social media handles.
Yeah, so 360sportsman.org is the website, and then the app once you've purchased a course is Go Collab. And then 360 Sportsman is the handle on most of social media. And for everyone that's listening to this episode, you get a special discount of 40% off for all courses products. So if that's something that you're interested in, is like, man, I really do want to get into that. Use all caps the code eHunter and you can get right plugged in. I'm sure that will be in the show notes too, but 40%
100%.
off.
Dude, that's guys, if you don't take advantage of that, you're crazy. That's like the best discount code that I've ever heard of in my lifetime. So 40% off, that's take advantage of that. Take an opportunity to learn and grow. And yeah, I was going to talk a little bit more about this, but yeah, Taylor and I kind of talked before we hit record about partnering up and making this thing grow. We're excited as eHunter to be part of 360 Sportsman, partner up with them and get you guys the information that you need. Like I said before, you guys have been on the website and you've seen all the articles. Like as a new hunter, these are the things that you need to do. And we don't touch what these guys are able to do because, we aren't masters in all these areas. We're given the best information that we can. Here you actually have it's a master class. You have master people that know this stuff inside and out. So, definitely build off what we have on eHunter, but take advantage of this. And yes, this will be in the show notes, put up on social media so that you guys can access it really quickly and easily. We'll be pushing it as much as we can because this is such a cool opportunity. So Taylor, thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate what you're doing. Appreciate you taking the time with me while you're in Texas. When are you going home?
Like next Monday, we're going to some Cedar Cove ranch down here in Texas. I've never been, but my
Nice.
wife and we're having a baby in January, so this is the baby
Oh,
moon.
congrats, buddy. Congrats.
We're
First
gonna do
one?
some bass fishing out there. What was that?
Is this your first kid? First baby?
It is. Yep.
Man, wow, I got 4 of them, so you got a while to catch up to me. But
Boom.
congrats,
Yeah,
buddy.
that's a lot.
That's what January
Thank you, brother.
what?
January 25th.
25th. Nice, dude. That is. Do you know boy or girl?
She's a girl. Yep.
That's awesome. Oh man, she's
You're gonna
gonna,
have to go hunting with dad.
dude. She's gonna have you wrapped around her little finger in no time, dude. There's something. So my first 2 were boys, and my last 2 were girls. I love my boys. Don't get me wrong, but man, when that first girl came along, yeah, that changed my life. That little thing just, oh my gosh, they're so precious, dude. So fun.
I'm I'm excited. But
Good
yeah,
for.
thank you so much, Taryn, for bringing me on. I am excited, and I'm grateful to eHunter and all the work that you guys do. Phenomenal organization, company here that's giving hunters news and information and updates on what's going on. There's a lot of things changing in the outdoor
Mhm.
industry, and a lot of people who are not fighting for it,
Right.
and that's pretty frustrating
It is.
and disappointing. And so, what you guys do to preserve the legacy of these wonderful traditions is all part of preserving our kids' legacies and memories that we have moving forward with them. So, thank you to eHunter and thank you, Taryn, for your time.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you. So thank you very much. And hopefully this isn't the only podcast that we do. We'll have to plan to do some more as 360
Sure,
Sportsman gets bigger and better and funner and all those fun things. We'll have to do some more podcasts and talk more about it in the near future.
absolutely. I can't agree.
Okay,
Can't agree
brother.
more.
Well, have fun out there in Texas. Get home safely, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Taryn.
All right, thanks, brother. See ya.